gonna get some people time to come on.
Testing. 1, 2. 1, 2. In the place to be.
Let's see what's up.
Testing. I told her I can touch the sky. And she looked at me and she said, Riley, let's fly. I said, that's what's up.
Here you go, wrap it again.
Come on in to my room. Come on in. Come on into the marriage company.
I'm gonna give a couple people time to come on. Then I'm gonna start recording.
Come on into the podcast.
Hey, y'all.
The marriage company.
Hey,
We
y'all.
have one. Will there be one? Will there be one?
I'd rather think you get a church.
Will there be one?
Okay. I'm fixing to get ready to start
Will there
recording.
be one? There is one. Maybe
right,
two.
Yeah, we're gonna start with the 5. I see 5 up there.
Hola.
Okay, you guys, we're gonna do a little live introduction to our podcast, and so we're recording.
Whoop,
Make
whoop.
sure everything is straight. We're recording, and we are the Marriage Co. establishing
Effective communication through spiritual growth.
Okay.
Yes.
So we're gonna just be talking a little bit about the
Business and relationships.
marriage. That's so rude.
Yes, business and relationship.
We're going to be talking about business and relationship, but the name of our podcast series that we're going to be doing is going to be called Drowning in My Own Salon.
Right.
And so on our podcast that we already previously recorded that we have not released yet, we're actually going to be explaining some things about why it's called Drowning in My Own Salon. Of course, you guys know me and Riley from the Overflo
Salon and Barbershop.
So we would like to say, hey, Team Overflo out there, Overflo Outreach,
If you're listening.
and our lovely Columbus, Georgia community. We love you guys. And we're going to be giving out some information. We're going to be giving out some information on some of the things in business that we have been going through and still are going through to empower our people.
Right.
So, drowning in our own salon is something that God gave me in 2018. In 2019, we actually started going through some things with drowning in our own salon. And so, God said, well, Katasha, it's like this. The drowning that I'm showing you is not a drowning as if you are actually going under not to come back up. But it's like a baptism and it's a renewal. So you're going down to be refreshed and renewed. So some things are not going to come back up with you just as if you get baptized. So God is really doing a new thing in our life, and he also separated us from some relationships and business. And we are here to express ourselves and talk about it because, like Riley always say about his story about his best friend BB, is his story.
That's right.
So Riley, you wanna give a little bit?
Yeah.
About...
When my wife first approached me about doing a podcast on drowning in your own salon, I had a different view of drowning in my own barbershop because we're together, but we are apart. In 2019, toward the end of 2019, toward the beginning of 2020, we had a separation of sorts in business and in friendship with people. And what I got from that was, I was telling Tasha, what's been on my heart was that song by Fantasia, Lose to Win Again. And sometime God will subtract something from your life just to add something to your life. But if you're not mature enough to understand that God he's so miraculous that he can subtract a thing and still add a thing. But you have to be mature enough to understand that when God is subtracting things, when he is subtracting people, when he is subtracting maybe a part of your business, when he is subtracting maybe a car or a house or something like that, everything works for the good of those who love the Lord. And so you really have to learn to be still when you're drowning in your own salon. I know just the word drowning it's a powerful word. Like you can't breathe, like you're not getting oxygen, like you're going under. But it's just a metaphor for what we were going through in our own salon. And me personally, it has been a blessing, because I want you to understand out there, people, that when God separates people from you, it's not necessarily a bad thing. That's not saying that the people that he separated from you, that's not saying that they're bad people or they're evil people and you wish bad on them and their situation. No. That's not what we're here to talk about. We want everyone that we were in a relationship, that we are now in a relationship with, we want everybody to eat around us. Everybody. Because how can we be good as the marriage company, as Riley and Tasha, and the people around us are not good? It doesn't dim our candle at all to light someone else's candle. And if God separated us in business, if he separated us in friendship, like I read someone wrote on Facebook, man, I still want you to eat. I just don't want you to eat at my table. Eat over there somewhere around the corner, up the hill. Eat over there. You don't have to eat at my table. But at the end of the day, I'm mature enough to understand that during the separation, I still want the best for you. But I want you to understand this out there now. Anytime something is separated, anytime something breaks, understand it never breaks even. Listen to what I'm saying. Anytime, if you ever broke a bone or broke a stick or broke a wishbone after you finish eating that fried chicken we're not supposed to eat. Anytime something breaks, it never breaks even.
Right. But
you have to be mature enough to understand what part you are when it breaks. You understand? Because it's always going to be a major piece and a minor piece. Understand? It's always going to be a major piece and a minor piece. And I like to say that the major piece is kind of like when Lot and Abraham had to separate. Abraham gave Lot the first choice. And God blessed what Abraham had. Even though he gave Lot the first choice, he gave Lot the best land, the best watering holes, the best everything. But God blessed Abraham because Abraham understood what part he was when that relationship broke. You understand what I'm saying? And so when God exits people from your life, when he exits the business, the cars, the houses, understand when it breaks, and the bow will break, any relationship that you're in is going to be tested. Whether it's a marriage, friendship, mother-daughter, father-son, every relationship is going to be tested.
Right.
But you better understand when it breaks, and it will break, which piece are you when it breaks? Because, I'm going to let you talk. I don't want to do you like, I don't want to do Tasha like, what's up, boy, Derek J, whatever.
Man,
I don't want to squeeze her hand and make her say something that she shouldn't say.
Rhonda been squeezing my hand ever since that incident came out.
Yeah, because she bad. But listen, one of my customers, he's deceased now. Bishop Skinner used to tell me all the time. He used to tell me that when he had people up under him, that he could always tell when people left the relationship, left your business, left your ministry. He could always tell when people left the right way. Because when they left, their business would grow. It would grow substantially when they leave, because he was able to give them the blessing. He was able to give them the peace of God and his peace when they left. But when they left the wrong way in a relationship, marriage, business, when you leave the wrong way, you can see the fruits of that labor also.
Right.
And so when you're driving your own salon and people come to your salon and they excited about being there and they want to work and they want to do this and all that, and then all of a sudden when their clientele builds up and they make a name for themselves and man, they're making the money and the stuff is rolling in and man, they popping and calling, man, and they doing great. And then all of a sudden, it's kind of like Lucifer. All of a sudden, the people that you hired are looking at you, and they're looking you in the eyes. And just like Lucifer told God, they're looking at you like you equal. Like, man, look, I have more customers than you, man. I have more clients than you. I'm a better hairstylist than you. I'm a better barber than you. I'm a better business owner than you, man. I'm better than you all the way around.
Right.
But they never take in consideration, man. You the one built that ark. You the one cut down the tree. You the one skinned the bark off the tree. You the one cut them boards, made that tar. You the one pieced it together. That's your thing. And it's not about it's not about you being somebody boss or greater or better. But you better understand that when it breaks, it never breaks even. And like Forrest Gump, that's all I have to say about that. So I'm gonna let my wife talk. I don't want to get too far into that.
Yeah, we don't want to give out the whole podcast.
The sauce.
But we do want people to understand, in business, a lot of people ask me and Riley, how we work together. We see each other all day long and we love it. Well, sometimes I don't see Riley for maybe like 2 hours or. Well,
I'm gonna tell you how we work together. We work together. The secret to us working together is I run my house. I don't run around it. I'm gonna say that again. I run my house. I don't run around it.
Well, we might need to
Go ahead.
We're gonna put some cameras in there. We're gonna see who run that house.
I'm gonna squeeze your hand tonight.
But of course, we actually just want everybody to know how we actually function,
how we flow
in business. I'm gonna give a little testimony for those that have not heard how Overflow actually started. Riley had a barbershop.
Riley's Barbershop.
Riley's Barbershop.
Luna Drive.
And I had a salon called Proverbs 31.
Yes.
And Riley was actually my barber and my kid's barber, and so I married my barber.
Yes, she did.
But when, to make a long story short, we actually got the name Overflow because it was a name that God gave us. And many relationships will birth from that well if we keep it purified, and we will be prosperous. A lot of relationships will come out of there, and God, He keeps His word. It don't go back void. No. And so Overflow is exactly what God established. We're just the overseers of Overflow, and we thank God for merging us together. But guys, me and Riley are on assignment. Our marriage is an assignment. And
yes,
so
it is.
To kind of like sidebar a little bit about our relationship and how we actually flow is that we know that we are on assignment from God. He put us together to not just help other people, but to help the kingdom of God. And so, in that you have benefits, and part of those benefits is me and Riley having a good relationship. But it's up to us, like any assignment that a person might have that is actually, an educator or in training to do more on their job for promotion or whatever. We're trying to get promoted, but our promotion comes from God. And so anybody that actually encounters the relationship with me and Riley, it's something that you're gonna get from us. We carry DNA. Actually, I told Riley, last week that we hybrids. Yes, he loved to use that word. So we're hybrids, and a hybrid is something that
it's a mixture of two things.
Yes, and it could become something that is different but stronger. And so in the relationship with us, if you are our friend, our family member, you're in our business, we do ministry with you, we network with you, we're trying to give you the best of what we have. And so, sometimes people don't get it, but that means that you're not a part of, our tribe. Don't mean that we don't love you, but God is doing something in our life, and sometimes people just can't, they don't get it, or they don't get with it. And so, it's not that they get left behind, but we're going somewhere, and it's just, we're going to just be on two different pages. In Overflow, we try to create unity in there. We try to have, we have a family atmosphere. And I remember a stylist telling me some years ago, she said, don't do that. She said, don't mix your salon with your personal life, because It's going to cause a conflict. And some of that is true.
Yeah.
But our business is also our ministry. So we kind of like don't have a choice but to engage and love our people that come in there, that we serve. And we thank you guys for choosing Overflow, as your choice of being your best beautiful. We thank you. We don't just have a salon that we just open the doors up to. We open up our hearts to our people. We open up our hearts to our community. Anybody that knows me and Riley, and I'm just not gonna make this about me and Riley, because we have some great people in Overflow that works there
and used to work there.
We can ask them to go and cut a cancer patient head, or something that we can't do, and because they extend their love of what they have inside of them, they have a ministry inside of them too that is extended. So it's not a problem when somebody actually, leave us.
No, it's not.
Just make more room.
What Overflow, what we try to get people to understand about Tasha and I, or Overflow, is that when you boil Overflow down, when you boil us down, I'm not trying to be the king. Tasha's not trying to be the queen of anything. What we're trying to do is create little kings, create little queens. It's not about us. If you ever work with Riley and Tasha, then you would know that we would much rather sing background. We would much rather be in the back, working, getting our hands dirty, cooking, cleaning up, sweeping, taking out the trash. We would much rather be in the back of every situation that we encounter. We'll much rather be working somewhere unseen. But sometimes God has a way of just putting you out front. What we love and what we specialize in is nobody wants to bet on a horse stuck in the mud. Nobody.
Right.
When people come into that shop, we see the people stuck in the mud. We see the people that are going through things in life, and life situation, and life is happening, and they beat up, and they tired, and and they're looking for a safe haven. And so, but a lot of these people are thoroughbreds. And if you know anything about horse, a thoroughbred is strong, it's powerful, it's fast. But these thoroughbreds are stuck in the mud. They can't find their way out. And what Tasha and I do is, we hook up to the horses that's stuck in the mud, and we try to pull them out and wash them off, encourage them, feed them the word of God, give them some spiritual food, give them some sound knowledge, some mentoring. And that horse that was stuck in the mud, man, they'll take off.
And not only that, it's some days where we stuck. Yeah. We need them to pull us
Encouraging
out.
As well.
We need our team to encourage us.
Yeah. And
so you can't get sidetracked about, by letting people on the outside, say stuff, in your business or in your ministry, because this is just not about the salon. This is about business and relationships. So in ministry, in corporate America, you have these same things going on when you're working with people. Nobody wants to come into their business and actually feel like they don't want to work in their own business. And it's been times where I done came into my own salon and I didn't want to be there. I didn't want to be there because of the atmosphere that was created, or the atmosphere that I allowed to be created, that became a cancer. And so, I'm not a person that like to really kind of like engage with people and go back and forth and all of that. So,
but she engaged with me
so
all the time.
So I avoid conflict.
Not with me. Not with me.
I practice on Riley.
Yeah.
I practice on Riley. So, I don't want to do that. And so I had to learn how to be a boss. See, everybody want to be a boss chick and all of that stuff, and think that because you run your mouth and you say how you feel and whatever, that you some type of boss chick and you don't take no crap or whatever. But I'm humble. I'm humble. But at the same time, when you got a business to run, you got to stand up. You got to stand up to people, and you got to tell them exactly the do's and don'ts, and have some bylaws and rules and regulations in your business, in your relationship. You got to have some boundaries.
People, just a caveat to that, people, there are no perfect relationships in marriage. There are no perfect relationships in business. We all know that we're human. But people really don't understand that in this marriage, Tasha and I, we live together. Tasha and I, we go to work together. We fish together. We do a lot of things together. And I'm never tired of hanging with my wife, because before we even were married, my wife was one of my best friends. Now she is my best friend. And I made my wife my best friend because that means she is now my accountability partner. You understand what I'm saying? And this is just a sidebar to me. I made my wife my best friend because now she is my accountability partner. Because I'm human just like anybody else. But some days, Tasha and I, we're not in unison. We're not rocking together. Some days we off. She might have said something, I might have said something, and the chemistry is just off because we're human. But yet we still going into the overflow. We still have goods and services that we need to provide. And at the end of the day, don't nobody care whether or not Tasha ain't cooked in 3 days for Big Riley. Don't nobody care whether or not, Tasha hasn't done her wifely duties in 3 or 4 days, and Riley frustrated and backed up. Don't nobody care about that. Because when people come into your business, they expect to get a service regardless of what's going on in your personal life. You understand? Regardless of what you have going on, people expect a service. And what helps Tasha and I out the most is, as much as I love my beautiful wife, and she's beautiful, and much as I love my fine wife, because she is fine as frog hair, Tasha does not keep me. You understand? Tasha, the marriage, the marriage that I have with Tasha is a sacred thing. Tasha doesn't keep me faithful. Tasha doesn't keep me from doing the things that, truth be told, sometimes that she squeezes my hand and it hurts. Tasha doesn't keep me from doing the things that sometimes I think about doing. What keeps me is God. It's the fear that I have for God. Not the fear that I have for Tasha, because Tasha's just a woman, But it's the fear that I have.
Amazon woman.
Yeah, it's the fear that I have, and the respect and reverence that I have for God.
Amen.
That keeps me, and that helps me when the devil trying to tempt me with some stuff. It helps me.
Well, I appreciate that, Riley. Since we talking about business and relationship,
but it overflows into business as well.
Right.
Because if we're having trouble, if we're not vibing at home, and we don't understand the business of our business, then that argument will overflow into the salon. And Now you're talking about not only are you drowning in your own salon, now it's a toxic brew in your own salon. Now it's you and I being toxic.
Right.
So now it's like a nuclear waste going on.
And I don't want to have.
Right. And so you have to be on your stuff when you hit that door to open up your business. Man, it don't matter what happened at home. It don't matter whether or not your dog bit you, your mama slap you. It don't matter what happened. When you open up that door, your people expect customer service.
Right.
They expect the product at a high level. There are no excuses.
And they expect for your team to get along.
Yes.
You can't be getting all, and I don't want to give all the goods out on actually, building the brand of your salon and your DNA and everything in your salon. But people don't want to be getting into it because somebody else sat in somebody else's chair.
Nah.
I mean, keep the people in the house. Let them sit in somebody else's chair because they're going to go cross town and sit in somebody else's chair anyway. You just got to make sure that it is functionable in your house.
Right.
Get along, but make sure that it's not no offense in your house, in your salon, in your business, in your ministry. And if it's an offense going on between two, staff members or whatever, y'all need to go get that straight.
Shut it down.
Don't hold your breath. You're only going to be able to hold your breath for so long before you pass out. So don't do that. It's grown people that actually work in salons and barbershops. So, hey, be grown about the situation and go and talk to each other and work it out.
Hey, listen, don't be mad at your money. I'm going to say that again. I tell Tasha all the time. Stylists, barbers, business people out there, don't be mad at your money. Never be mad at your money. Make your money and go home.
People they be intimidated by certain things or whatever. So Riley got all these little cute customers and stuff come in. You do their eyebrows and cut their hair and stuff like that. And she
talking about women.
I remember her.
Yeah.
I remember somebody trying to make me intimidated, make me feel some type of way because of that. But I'm not fixing to get mad about Riley, cutting some cute woman head and making some money that's paying our bills. Come on now. And tipping good. I'm gonna go over there and ask her
but
if
I'm
she
gonna
needs
keep
shampoo.
the tip. I'm not sharing the tip with you.
But no.
Tip.
So it's things like that in your salon that actually the person that is next to you is your partner. You don't have to. I tell our staff, you don't come to work to make friends. You come to work to make money. And if you make a friend in there, then hey, that's great. But don't think that you come into work to make friendship and you can't do your job because now you didn't got all emotional and then got pissed off with somebody about something that happened last night. It don't work that way.
When you own a salon, when you own a business, you are in charge of the atmosphere. You are in charge of the flow of your business, whether it's a barbershop, plumbing company, book publishing company, doctors, whatever your business is. A marriage is a business. You are in charge of the flow. And I like to tell young barbers or young stylists, create an atmosphere where everyone is welcome. And I think we do a great job of that in Overflow. Create an atmosphere where the preacher can sit next to the prostitute and both of them still feel comfortable. Because at the end of the day, it's business and you're trying to create that mighty dollar. Don't have a barbershop or a salon where the people are always cussing. The hustle man coming in there selling stolen goods. The barber smell like weed. They're drinking. They having inappropriate conversations about what they did Friday or Saturday night with whomever. Because what you're doing, now you're limiting your customer base to people who are comfortable with that type conversation or that type setting. So in essence, really now you're cutting your money. Now your demographic, as far as your customer, has shrunk down. And so now you're a dope boy barbershop or a barbershop known for strippers or a beauty salon known for strippers to come there. and all that. And I'm not talking about the dope boys or the strippers. No, I'm not talking about that. But what I'm talking about is business. Walmart service everybody. Black, white, tattoo, no tattoo, slim, Muslim, Christian, preacher, prostitute, police. Walmart service everyone. Chick-fil-A, which I love their customer service. I love their business model. Chick-fil-A service everyone.
I'm so tired of hearing you talk about Chick-fil-A.
It's my pleasure, Tasha, to talk about Chick-fil-A. It's my pleasure. But I love Chick-fil-A's model. The customer's always right. Even if they're wrong, Chick-fil-A gonna give you a little something extra, lemonade, and say my pleasure, and send you out. You control that atmosphere. You control the flow. Make your dollar. Have an atmosphere that's conducive to everyone coming there and enjoying themselves in the business. And like Forrest Gump say, that's all I have to say about that.
You keep saying that.
But it's about time for us to shut it down.
I'm going to tell this one little story about, just get it out your system. So me and Ryder had went to Florida. Everybody know we love Florida. We love especially Pensacola because our mama lived there.
Go Gators. Go Gators.
I forgot what happened, but Ryder got pissed off at me.
Ooh,
it's a 3.5 hour drive.
Can I say one thing?
See what I'm saying? Let me talk.
I was 38 hot. I was 38 hot. But go ahead.
Oh, he was mad. So here it is. We in the car for 3.5 hours, and we ain't even talking to each other. I'm just looking out the window.
Your luck ain't put you out.
I'm just looking out the window. I'm just looking out the window the whole time. But when we got to that shop on Tuesday, we were talking, baby. Did nobody
even know what was going on?
We can get in there and make them donuts.
Yes. We had to make
them donuts. You better learn how to get along. My mama said, her and my daddy, it ain't nothing wrong with having a twin bed and you and your husband sleeping in it for years because you staying warm. You get that king size bed and you all the way over there on the other side. And now you got all that space in between. You ain't even touching. You're cold.
Yes.
That's all I had to say.
Well, that's all I have to say about that. This is Gerald Riley and my beautiful wife, Katasha Riley. We are the marriage company.
Establishing effective communication through spiritual growth. Family, we love you, Tri-City, and we thank you guys for keeping it steady on 30-something people.
And we're coming back later on.
Y'all, you guys, please share. We know it was kind of long, but we just love talking to you guys, especially when y'all paying attention.
Woo, woo.
Peace out. God bless.
Should I be sure?